Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Deoxys Defense form. And you might think, oh, this Pokemon has no play at all anymore. After counter nerf, this Pokemon completely vanished. I have to say, I don't actually think since the counter nerf I encountered a single Deoxys Defense. And most likely for good reason. That's at least what I thought. Honestly, I looked at the stats and of course, like for the rankings on the team builder, this Pokemon wasn't the best. But also, there is a lot of potential for this thing, and I still see the potential for this thing in this Pokemon being one of the coolest one in order to do a very certain strategy, which you're gonna see in today's video as well, which is basically the chip and dip strategy, which means we're going to have at the end a very nice charge move of Psycho Boost, which is currently amazing in the current meta. There are a lot of targets for Psychic type damage, and also, of course, yeah, we have good coverage with Thunderbolt, and counter still does the same amount of damage, just doesn't generate the energy anymore. But what you can do a lot of times is just go for a hard-hitting move and then swap out. And because, of course, Psycho Boost is going to debuff us, it is definitely a very solid strategy, and this was also a strategy that we were running with this Pokemon before. And also, you see here already with the team, this team is heavily inspired by what we were running with this Pokemon back in the day. And I have to say, this team worked out way better than I expected. Deoxys worked out way better than I expected, and I would actually even say that Deoxys was my favorite Pokemon from this team. And that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like a Pokemon that nobody has been using in ages is the kind of best Pokemon here. But to be fair, I was not too surprised again about it. I feel like this Pokemon has a lot of play. There are a lot of Pokemon that are currently weak to fighting typing plus psychic typing, and this is one of the reasons why Melamar is so important right now. And so we're going to be able to win the first battle. And here we're going to see already what I mean with the strategy that we are running with Deoxys. We're going to be able to go up for 7 fast moves in this case. I got a bit confused because you only get to the Psycho Boost after 6 now and not after 5. I'm still used to getting to the Psycho Boost after 5 counters. And as you see here, the opponent is going to be already very low. We can use a shield against them. They're going to go back into a Wigglytuff, which is, by the way, absolutely amazing. If you see the backline that we have here with the Manabus there chilling, we know, of course, that this is going to be super important, that we're going to get the Wigglytuff against our Dugong. And especially now, after 2 debuffs onto their attack, they barely do any damage. And so we can let the move go through here against us. It is going to be the Swift, and I could even decide to swap back out into my Deoxys. I get the opponent already very, very low with that one. And now there might be even a range for a Snarl down at this point, which is kind of hilarious. And they swap out into the Marowak again. And again, our Deoxys is going to be able to go for a Psycho Boost, and this will not KO them. But still, Deoxys is one of the bulkiest Pokemon that you can run, and we see already why, because we can still take a hit. And in comes the Skarmory, and we're gonna go for the Psycho Boost, and I have to say, I don't know why the opponent was doing this here. We are currently at -3 attack, and it was clearly not a Thunderbolt, so that is a very, very lucky shield for us. But also the opponent going to be able to catch the move, so it's going to be very, very close again, right? No, we still have an Icy Wind start. And this means that this is going to be a very easy victory. It is going to allow us to drop the opponent's attack permanently for the rest of the battle, while still having enough health here to even get to another move if they wouldn't forfeit there. And so we move on. We're going to have a Bibarel in the lead, which is going to be very solid for us. We would be able to just counter them down there, and they're going to swap out into their own Marowak, allowing me to get a shield. And I was realizing something very fast here. Well, I should have played it a bit differently. I should have used a charge move here. I should have went on the CMP tie. I realized that this one would have been another CMP tie, and I didn't want to risk it because I know that I would be able to fully farm them down. And so I feel like I'm still in a very solid spot. While I am 2 shields down, the opponent has 1 shield left. I know that I have 2 drill runs out here. And while, yes, it's going to be a non-step drill run, it's still going to hurt against the opponent's Bibarel. And we will see another one coming through here. And we will see the shield coming up, which I did not really expect, but they swap out into the Jumpluff. And as we still have a lot of health left, I don't really want to debuff myself early, which means I decide to go for the Thunderbolt instead here. And this is going to do not as much damage, but it's going to allow us to do some neutral damage still without debuffing ourselves. Because as we're going to see here as well, an Energy Ball is not going to be enough to knock us out. Psycho Boost is coming through again, and you see already the benefit of Deoxys Defense. This Pokemon actually still has the bulk it needs. With the counter damage as well as the Psycho Boost damage, it still has the power as well to hurt quite a lot of Pokemon in the current meta. And it's honestly just a great Pokemon to use right now. And I do understand why people kind of are a bit worried about using this Pokemon. I fully understand it, but at the end of the day, you still have one of the bulkiest Pokemon with a fast move that does great coverage damage in the current meta, a typing that's actually very solid as well, just pure Psychic typing because you have a lot of Fighting type Pokemon around, but also great coverage in terms of Psycho Boost. And so we're gonna now move on to the next opponent. We're going to encounter here the Clodsire in Elite. Not really ideal, but also not too bad. We're gonna be able to take a hit from the opponent here. I'm going to wait until they go for one, because I know that this time I should just let the move go through and go for the Psycho Boost and maybe keep another Psycho Boost for later on. This is also a strategy that you can run with. As you'll see here, the opponent goes for another Sludge Bomb straight away. I was hoping for an Earthquake, it wasn't, but it's still going to be an okay matchup for our Mandibuzz, right? Like, the opponent is going to be one shield down already. We are kind of similar health there. We should be kind of fine here. We're going to have Dark Pulse, and I am seeing something very, very annoying here, and this is that Clodsire's health is just not going down. Clodsire really enjoys here the damage that is going on top of it, because like it is just not taking any damage really. And we see the Sludge Bomb coming through. It is madness on how bulky this Pokemon is. Same of course kind of goes for the Mandibuzz as well, but I'm actually going to let the move go through. Why do I do this? Because I feel like at this point it might be just better to have some energy on my Dewgong, and maybe I was wrong with that, maybe I was right, I'm not too sure. I'm going to be able to take a Hydro Cannon here. I can go for a Drill Run, this is going to do some neutral damage. Put them kind of into the deep yellow health, or like actually not even that deep, and I make a big mistake. I should have went for the Psycho Boost one turn earlier. I did not think that they would have already had the charge move here, and this is going to be the mistake that's going to maybe cost me the game here. We're gonna see as well, we're gonna undercharge the Psycho Boost, it doesn't matter, but the issue is now that we have that one shield less that we would have needed to have, and while I can go for another Psycho Boost here, we have to rely on what they have in the back and hope that we are going to be fine against it, and we don't know about it. It's going to be the Superior. So, now imagine the situation again as following. I have two shields here. I didn't have one shield, I have two. I would have been able to outspeed the opponent. And also, my Deoxys would be a little bit healthier, and I would have been in a bit of a better spot here, as we now see that the opponent is going to be able to, of course, shield up the move. Even if I had a shield, I would have been able to shield this move up and still get to an IC1 and knock them out. But this is my own mistake, and this is not down to Deoxys. Even here, even if we would have not been able to get to another move, we would have put them into range for a Psycho Boost. And so that is really, really annoying, because again, this would have been a win if I played it better. And I can tell you this already, as far as I remember, every single battle that I lost here today were battles that I could have won if I played it better, if I just had a bit more experience, or like had a bit of a better idea while playing, I guess. And so, yeah, you're going to see here a lot of interesting games where you see also how to improve yourself a little bit with, not playing like I do. But as we will see as well against the opponents at Stunfisk, we're going to be able to get the shields from them. We're going to, not get the shields from them, get them low of course. And we're going to try to go for the full farm on here, and they're going to get our shield, that's what I want to say. With a discharge, which at least we know, at least at this point, that the opponent does not really have any access to any move anymore on this Pokemon. I'm going to go for the Icy Wound here because I need two moves anyway to knock out that Feraligatr. And as now the opponent only going to have resisted Hydro Cannon, they're going to be debuffed there as well, so we're going to be in a very solid spot. They're going to go for another charge move. I should be able to go for 3 more force moves before the opponent going to get to their next one, so I could do this, but I can also swap out into my Mandibuzz, and I'm going to go for the Aerial Ace. Could see them using a shield here just to preserve their Feraligatr, and they do exactly this. As they're going to swap out into the Goodra, we're going to go ahead and go for that big charge move here with the Mandibuzz. Dark Pulse is coming through. Let's see on how this is going to go. We are going to let that move go through. It's going to be very likely the Thunder Punch, but it's better for us to let the move go through because it still does less damage than an Ice Beam, for example. From the Feraligatr, always know what you need to shield. And as we see as well, I'm going to try my best to fully farm them down, and we miss out by just 1 turn. Or do we? We're still going to be able to actually knock them out here. We can still go ahead and go for the Icy Wind, which is going to drop the opponent's attack even further, which is going to be great. And now I make a mistake again. And you see it here as well. What I should have done is, I should have just went straight for here the shield, of course. That's kind of an obvious one. Should just went straight for the Aerial Ace. I tried to go for a fancy, and the opponent's still going to be able to stop in here. What do I mean? If I went straight, I would have been able to knock out the Stunfisk, which came in there. But also, the opponent would have been forced to go for their energy a little bit earlier, I would assume. So I would have been able to get to the Psycho Boost here, and it just didn't really work out for me. That was kind of unfortunate. I think it was also a battle that I could have won. But down to my own mistakes, and that is totally okay. Speaking of my own mistakes, Staying in like this is very risky because the opponent would be able to outspeed us if they wanted to. But at this point, I'm kind of happy because I got the shield from them and I got a little bit of damage onto them. And this damage actually kind of matters because at this point, we're going to be able to go for 1 Dark Pulse and put them then into farm down range afterwards. I used the shield here against the Hydro Cannon, which is not really ideal because they were kind of in a position here where it's very like they're just gonna go for a bait. But Ice Beam now is going to knock us very, very low. Not out, but definitely very low. And we kind of have to still deal with the Gust. I'm actually kind of happy with this situation here because we know we still have also the Dugong. And so I can swap out of here into my Deoxys and we all see that Clodsire in the back. And this kind of tells me I should be able to win this one. We're going to be able to scout which charge move this Pokemon has here very likely, unless they're going to go for the Earthquake, which I would not expect them to do. It's going to be a Stone Edge, and so we know we're going to have a Stone Edge variant of Clodsire. It's not ideal for this team. I think it is better for us to have the Such Bomb variant, because again, Dugong going to take super effective hits, as well as also the Mandibuzz going to take super effective hits. And so I'm just going to use my Mandibuzz here as sacrifice. I don't really care too much about this Pokemon at all. And we're going to be able to now go ahead and go into my Dugong, where I know that both Pokemon are going to be weak to Ice typing, and that's going to be very, very good, because we have Ice Shot damage, we have Icy Wind damage, and we even get the first Icy Wind off before the opponent's Guzlord can go for a charge move. And this is going to be crucial, because now, all of a sudden, their charge move is going to take, do way less damage onto us, and we can just take them way easier. The Brutal Swing is coming through, barely does any damage, and here I make a bit of a mistake. I either go straight, or I'm gonna go for the full farm down, but I did neither. I literally went for the CM Beta, which is the worst thing I could have done. But yeah, that's what it is. We're going to be able to knock them out here. So we are going to be at low health. Is it going to be enough to knock them out? Yeah, it is. And we can move on to the next opponent. Next one, we're going to have here the Deoxys against a Marowak. Marowak is going to be, again, a very neutral matchup. We saw this matchup already in the beginning. What we do is we go for 7, go for the Psycho Boost, swap out later on, then into your Dugong. You could actually go for 1 extra fast move first, and then try to catch the Bone Club. I think that would be also a very interesting idea. And I think it would be most likely a better way of going around with this strategy. But as we'll see here, the Icy Wind is coming through against the opponent's Miltank. I'm fairly certain that they're running Thunderbolt, otherwise there was no real reason to stop this Pokemon in here. Of course, the fast move is still going to be super effective. But at this point, I kind of would just like to go ahead and go for another debuff. And I think it would be ideal to just go for the full farm down here with the Deoxys. This should give us the most, and as you will see here, Thunderbolt's coming in. We're going to be able to go for the full farm down. And let's see who is going to be next. It's going to be the Drifblim. It's going to be a bit of a trickier matchup. We can go for the Thunderbolt, which very likely is going to get shielded. And let's see on how this is going to go. We still don't get to another move. That's kind of annoying. I think if I went for that Psycho Boost, I would have been able to get to 2, but it is what it is. And here you see, by the way, this was the first battle that I did with this team, which you see based on me having still Air Slash on the Mandibuzz. I thought Air Slash on the Mandibuzz is going to be the better move to go for, mainly due to having the Flying type Pokemon around. But then after playing this battle here, I decided to go over to a Snarl, because I feel like Snarl is the better move to go for, generally speaking, because you just rather want to have the energy generation that you just don't have with the Air Slash. And so here we're going to see the opponent's Marowak is coming back in. We're going to try our best. We're going to let the move go through it. Of course, we don't have shield, so can't reach shield anything anyway. And we're going to have to hope the Mandibuzz somehow still going to win. I get off the charge move, and I just have to hope that somehow it beat the opponent's Drifblim there that's lurking in the back. The Drifblim comes back in here. We can go for the Dark Pulse in time, but is it going to be enough to knock out this bulky Pokemon? It is, and we can move on to the next opponent. Battle number, I actually don't even know. I think it's battle number 8 here for the video. But yeah, we're going to have 1 more left afterwards. I did 9 battles total. All the battles that I did with this team, by the way, are in here. I did 1 battle in the beginning of the set with a different team, where I immediately felt like, yeah, it's mostly not a good team that I should not really, try to run. And so that's how stuff happens quite often as well, by the way, where I just have teams where I feel like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't use them. And yeah, here we're going to see the Gastrodon against us, which is going to be a great matchup. We just, generally speaking, are not really too sad about this one. We're going to see here the charge move coming through as well. We're going to have the Dark Pulse, and we're going to get the opponent kind of low with that as well. As you're going to see, the opponent is going to now go into their Arctipex. They reveal here at this point as well that they are running the move of, what's called? of the Ice Fang, which is going to be perfect because now Dugong is going to be able to double resist this one, which is going to be great. We're going to be able to go for one charge move here as well against the opponent, which is going to be even better. And Psycho Boost is going to get the opponent kind of low here. And now we kind of still have to hope, of course, that we're going to be able to do something nice with our Dugong in the back. We don't get to another move here, which is kind of unfortunate. But it is what it is, and we will see here as well that we're going to be able to go ahead and go for that aerial ace, get the opponent shield there as well. We're going to let the move go through and then kind of rely on the Dugong here to carry us basically. And I think it's going to be the right call as well, as we will see here. We're going to go for the full farm down against the opponent. We're going to use the shield against the rock side, and we have a ton of energy now for the Arctibugs, and of course Arctibugs has nowhere to go. They don't do damage against us, and we're just in a prime position to knock out the opponent. And we're going to show that as well here by, yeah, just going for another drill run. It's going to be a good game for this one. We can move on to the final one for today. Sparkling Brain. Let's see if he definitely has a Sparkling Brain. We're going to have here very interesting in the lead, the Gastrodon, which is going to be a Pokemon where you can go ahead and go for the Psycho Boost and Dip strategy, which you see the entire time already in this video, and I do think this is the best strategy that you can go for this Pokemon. Anyway, we're gonna see as well that we're gonna use a shield against the opponent. It's going to be the Earth Power coming through, and we will have the Typhlosion coming in here next. Ice Wind is going to connect against the opponent and gonna get the shield, which is always kind of the play that I'm gonna go for. Always try to go ahead and go for that move first. And as we will see here, the opponent is going to go ahead and they have to basically take a hit here from us with the drill run. And they are using a shield, and we're still gonna be able to go into the Deoxys. The opponent is still debuffed, so I think we're gonna be okay. But we have to see on how this is going to go. The Thunder Punch is coming in, and we're going to be able to go ahead and go for that Psycho Boost. This should be kind of fine, you have to say. And we will as well here see that the opponent is going to have to still deal with my full health Mandibuzz in the back. There's going to be the Mandibuzz against the Talonflame. I was expecting this matchup here as well. We should have a very solid play by just going for the Dark Pulse. I think we're going to have a win con here for sure. But yeah, we have to see if this is actually going to work out for us. They're going to go for a charge move here. Is it going to be the Brave Bird? I'm not too sure about it. Let's know it is going to be the Brave Bird, and they're going to swap out into the Gastrodon, and I should have just went for the Dark Pulse early on. Again, as said before, every single battle that didn't go really my way, it went not my way, not because of the team. I actually think out of all 9 battles, every single one was possible to win for me, but this just didn't go well for me, which is totally fine. And as you'll see as well, the opponent is going to go ahead and... yeah, we're gonna sadly now have to take that fly. We're gonna go down, and we sadly lose this last battle. Again, I think there was a battle that we could have won if we just played a little bit better. But you live and learn, and this is gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.